And also, our next video is from Man Reacts, and he say men are happy to walk away from marriage because it is like a prison to them. Clearly, I won't blame men if they are walking away from their marriage, because who doesn't want peace of mind? Who doesn't want to go home, come back and meet a loving wife who will serve his food, who will do everything for him, calm him down? Because I know most of these men, if they go to work, they will have a hectic day, that for them to come home again to meet a nagging wife, someone that will not even give them peace of mind, someone that will be nagging from morning till night, will not even do the laundry, not do the necessary things, will not become a traditional wife, or she she will be doing the list of things the man expect her to do. Guys, let's check this video out.
Men are happy to walk away marriage because it is like a prison.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You gonna give me a hug or what? Oh, no, that's lame.
That's the traditional way.
Yeah, that's lame.
No, it's not. It's
Very
respectful.
Lame. No, lame.
No?
Lame.
Oh,
Lame.
well, you can just sit down then.
Well, you can stand up.
Or you could just sit down.
Oh, I'm gonna walk out then.
Air hugs.
She didn't want to stand up. Typical feminist. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You got to play the game, guys. This is how women are nowadays. You know, they want to sit there and think, oh, no, I'm not going to stand up. And it's like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to demolish you in this debate.
I just think marriage is an L in today's day and age. I mean, there's obviously the tradition component if you're religious, but you know, when it comes to the government involvement and the potential financial ramifications of having to unwind a marriage, it does not make sense. So don't get married, guys. Don't do it. You do, but you could have a life partner, for example, but you just don't need the government involved
Exactly
in that.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
And fully want the whole white picket fence. We are husband and wife, but I just don't feel the need to go and sign some paper that lets them know that we are.
Yep.
The whole life partner thing might be a nice idea for some people, but even without a formal contract with the government involved with a marriage license, the pitfall is that being together constitutes a common law marriage. How do you get around that?
Women are not desirable right now. Everyone's a Kim Kardashian clone. I asked you earlier, what don't men want? And you said promiscuity. Well, that seems about the only thing that's being offered right now. When I open my Instagram and I've got butt cheeks and I'm going, people are like, I don't understand why no one wants to, this woman's been married 4 times. I'm like, well, I can understand it, because even if men think they want it in the short term, when you see a girl, she's half naked, she looks good. Yeah, sure, you probably do want to have sex with her. I bet you're wired that way. You're hardwired that way.
Yeah.
But then what happens after you have sex with her and you realize that so did 20 other dudes
100%.
in the same week, you don't want her.
You nailed it. You
Yeah.
absolutely not only nailed it.
A guy I knew lived with his GF, and he told me that he had to break up with her because they were together for almost 7 years. He was afraid that the government was going to view their relationship as a common law marriage, and he had gone through a divorce when he was younger. He figured that he'd break up with her for a while, and then get back with her at a later date to start over. It ended up being a moot point, because a year later, they got married and stayed that way until he passed away.
Me calling my ex-husband while we were separated because I was having a panic attack and he was my safe person. Him coming to pick me up even though I was the one divorcing him. I completely understand this. I did it several times. I struggle with the sadness of the decision, but it was needed. So your ex-husband is needed, but he's your ex-husband. Mine didn't come. I go through them alone now, and it hurts every time. There is a disconnect happening where women are leaving their men.
Sure, I don't blame men if they are walking away. Women, my gender is your fault.
Do you think if he called her having a panic attack that she'd even pick up the phone? Being expected to constantly provide and care for people who have given up on them is not good for men's souls and their growth. It is beating them down mentally. Even if it's not your intention, it is so incredibly manipulative to break up with a guy and then expect him to console you through the breakup.
We frequently witness situations when men are singled out, made to answer for their actions, and told that because they have a good income, they should give their wives or live-in girlfriends an allowance. You give them a particular sum of money. It's insane that men are now beginning to be seen as financial violators and punished for mistreating their spouses by placing them on a budget.
Like I really say, I don't really believe it, because sometimes my gender treats a relationship like a business.
And
To them,
unless
it's a
there are
business.
extenuating circumstances, a reason why that can't be, if both people are physically able to have sex, they should be. That is the mode of a healthy relationship. However, many of us get into what we call an intimacy withdrawal. It's like our bank accounts, our emotional accounts, our physical accounts, our relational accounts have become over withdrawn. We are in a negative balance. Leave a comment if this sounds familiar to you. Like, here's an example of what we often see. Sometimes maybe a wife and a husband will be home at the end of the day, and the wife wants to share something with her husband, and the husband's on his phone and he's checked out. And the wife does not feel heard and does not feel like her husband is emotionally supportive of her.
Men are delaying marriage. They know the probability of a marriage without intimacy or intimacy being used as a weapon against them is too great these days. Women are changing to become more manly. Males are changing to become more feminine. Feminism has progressed to the point where, in my opinion, it no longer achieves the gender equality it previously did when, as you are aware, women wanted to vote, own cars, and have jobs. Now they own that. But in my perspective, any movement must either succeed in achieving its objective or terminate. However, the problem with feminism is that it has developed into a toxic form in which it has become a supremacist movement determined to destroy Western civilization. Atomic families are being destroyed by it.
Your partner, spouse, husband, wife, they're supposed to be up here, above almost everything else, including yourself. So I know that if he doesn't want me to do something, he has a good reason for it, and I know that he has my best interest at heart, just like I do for him. So I can be independent, opinionated, and be my own woman while still respecting and listening to my man.
So many women are not reacting well to this, but she did not say, if my man says no, I listen. What she said was, I respect my husband because he respects me.
I have known too many men whose lives, health, and finances have been ruined by toxic marriages for me to believe marriage is a good proposal for modern American men. The solution to the problem is staring society in the face. It wouldn't cure the problem, but could improve it. And that is an agreed-upon written contract going in, rather than the unwritten contract we currently act upon. No assumptions as far as rights and responsibilities are concerned. It's not ideal, I know, but it could improve on a broken system.
What is a time where you felt that you failed that you learned a valuable lesson from?
That's such a hard question. Getting divorced is a big lesson.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come? What happened?
For a long time, you know, like in your 20s and 30s, like getting married was a big goal, and I got married. And then I realized that that's not everything. And what I learned through being married was that knowing who you are, knowing your values, and knowing your non-negotiables is so much more important than anything else. It could be more important than the person that you love. And that was a huge lesson for me.
So do you think you didn't know yourself before getting married?
I think I didn't really know how important my values were to me before I got married.
What is true love like, in your opinion?
When I find out, I'll let you know.
Why did it not work, if you don't mind me asking?
Because I wanted it to work so much that I was willing to overlook aspects of him and myself that didn't align with my true values, and that's why it didn't work.
There is nothing wrong with women wanting men to chase after them. Women in general want to feel needed more than men do. That's a universal thing, and I don't think anything we say or do can change that. The only problem is when it comes to marriage or being together, the woman expects everything on her terms, instead of working together as it should. People in this generation find reasons to quit, rather than find reasons to stay and grow. The trust between men and women has never been this low in our lifetimes.
Yeah, guys, imagine the male gender, paying all the bills, doing house chores, and at night, no sex. That is equals to marriage. Imagine that. Like, is that not wickedness? Wickedness on its highest order. Like, seriously.
No.
Wedding cake.
We don't really have marriages anymore. Since the government became involved, they are civil unions, not marriages. A marriage is a religious institution that has nothing to do with the government. What we need is for the government to not be involved in marriages at all. Let people choose if they want a marriage, where you're married in your church by your pastor, and the government stays completely out of it, or a civil union. Eliminate state marriage certificates and call them what they truly are, a civil union certificate. So, there's a lot that needs to change first. But I don't think anything's going to change in my lifetime at least. I think it's only going to get worse for men. We are all aware that with time, marriages typically lose their worth. Men have grown weary of women as more and more of them reveal their true natures, and how they trick them into marriages so they may live off of their resources while they monkey branch from one male to the next. However, the primary cause of the rise in non-intimate marriages is that women no longer want to be women. There, I did say it. Based on falsehoods spread by the awakened feminist ideology, women seek to adopt the gender role of males and want to behave in a masculine way in order to seize authority. 50% of marriages end in divorce, 70% of them initiated by women. They get most of everything following the divorce, including the kids. Women get sole custody of the kids around 80% of the time, and the father loses almost all his rights to those children, except for the financial connection. Yet you blame men for refusing to play this rigged game? Trust me, it's all a gift for the parties involved, but all a loss for the man. She benefits, the divorce court benefits, lawyers benefit, but the man loses it all. What a weird world we live in. One day it will happen when man will just say no for good, and the damage will be permanent. Divorce laws do need to be reformed, and prenups need to be more common. It's in the best interest of both men and women to do a prenup, while the couple is still on good terms, and just makes more sense. But women tend to get emotional about it by thinking it's because the man doesn't trust the woman. It also makes me sick when the children get put in the middle of all of that. Don't punish the kids by not letting them see your ex just because you're mad at the ex. The legal repercussions of marriage in the current climate are so severe that many men find it difficult even to consider getting married. The issue with it is that it especially has more to do with the West than other regions, such as Russia, Asia, or even Eastern Europe. Therefore, as family law has advanced and changed through time, it has become a situation where men face very high risk and little return from marriage. That is one of the issues that men have with marriage. Family law has advanced to the point where it is very high risk, but a poor return for men, and low risk, but a great reward for women, particularly if they want to leave it. 8 out of 10 divorces are initially started by women rather than men. I'm not sure whether there is a solution or a method to get around the fact that men are purposefully and strategically avoiding marriage. As several guys have often asked me, how can you satisfy the biological want to pass on your seed? I've kind of touched on this subject from time to time and discussed some other possibilities as well. By nature, men are designed to scatter their seed, while women are designed to basically seek the highest value men with who they can intertwine and use up their resources. That's how some women view marriage and the advantages of divorce, if that gives you a little bit of insight and helps you to understand a little bit more. I'm aware that some women may point out that their divorces didn't go that way and that they had to pay the man. It's all right. That could also occur sometimes. However, because of the nature of the intimacy market and how men and women connect, guys frequently find themselves in situations where they meet attractive women who end up marrying them. Meaning that when they get married, the guys are a few points higher than them. However, when the divorce occurs, she wants to maintain her position, and hence retaliates through the divorce, and as a result, ends up with his finances and assets. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love.
Just like what this thing said, until they reform that family court of the thing, all these things will just stop. Because to me, like I said before, the gender, my female gender is using this as a business. That is where they munch on someone's child, forgetting that person too also has a responsibility to his own family, his own younger ones, and the rest of them. There's someone comment that got to me. He said, until someone stops the free reign of family courts, men will avoid marriage and women in general. Good. Nowadays, only 6.5 men in 1,000 get married due to the following scenario. You get it? Man gets married. 2, wife refuses to have sex. This one is just so common. Sometimes I don't know why the female gender with sex like zeg. Why? Because he got you angry. You see, guys, there's one thing. There's a family is it consultation abi what say training abi what, how like put the English. He always said, even though if you and your spouse is quarreling, you don't even know what will happen the next day, make sure you settle that matter magana settle it that day before the next day, because even that next day you will not know what will happen. something might happen and you will end up regretting it. How? Why? Then why did you get married? Even in the Bible, one of the reasons why even God instituted this only for married people is because of this seg. For married people, so that God, so that this kind of things will stop during all this fornication and the rest of them. To avoid fornication, you have, even in the Bible, you have the right to give your man. You have. Then the third one is wife racks up huge credit card debits. Relatable. Wives stop contributing financially. Wow. That is why they are always advising the women. Even in Nigeria here, don't just stay idle. Even though your husband say, "Don't worry, honey, stay home. I will take care of you. I'll take care of everything." My dear, you go reach one time where we say to give you money. For the man to give you money, you go hard. So that's why they are always advising with the young ladies, look for something doing. Online businesses, importation, freelancing. There are different things you can do online to earn money. Like our parents always sing that to us. Even apart from that one too, they are always, that's one of the advice they give us, so that we also can support our spouse financially. We also can use from there to get some kind of things, because it's not everything you go out there to go and meet your husband for. So even if you go and meet your husband for, he will not even answer you. You say, "Hey honey, I have to do this one, I have to do that one." You get. Wife stop cooking and cleaning. Oh my God, that is your primary responsibility. Except if the man just wants to help you because you have been doing a lot of chores and he just wants to lend a helping hand. But you see that cooking, that cleaning, why? In short, we the female genders here in Nigeria, it's just recently that they even started approving of all this girl child education. If not, before, girls don't go to school, it's only the boys, because they said when you get married you end up in the kitchen. But nowadays, nobody's having it again. You can see most women are career women, but primary, is it primary or primary? Sorry, pardon my English. That is a primary duty of human gender. Yes, to care for your home, your children. You cook, you clean, you do everything when you are married. So why would you stop? Like, you want to be bossy or what? Wife cheats as husband. Even the men too cheat. So this one I'm not really agree. Women too cheat. Husbands too. In short, most of the times it's even the husbands that do even cheat. Yes, of course. Yeah. If I'm wrong, you quote me wrong, or you correct me in the comment section. Why fights for divorce takes the house, cars, savings, and kids? This one is so true. Like, it's as if, like I said, women, they treat it as if it's a business. It's as if they just got married to the person, give birth to 1 or 2 kids, then you zoom, their real character will start displaying. Like what? Just because you want the car, the house to yourself. What happens to the two of you coming together to own that car, to own that house, to own those things yourself? What happened? 8, the wife falsely accuses husband of abuse and he no longer see his kids. Like, I know there are men that can be abusive, but really, like me, if your husband is abusive, that one, I will support you with my full chest, because those men don't have the right to spank their wife. For what now? Is it that your wife is a property or what? If that one, me personally, I will tell you to fight for a divorce. If your husband is abusive, fight for a divorce. But if he's not abusive, oh come on, there are ways you can sort your marriage. There are ways you can avoid divorce. Don't let divorce be your number one option. Wife poison kids against the father. What man in his right mind will sign up for this? I know no man with his right mind will sign up for this. But guys, let me tell you something. Not all 100% marriages end up in divorce, and not all 100% divorce starts with a marriage. Yes, guys. I know this one is just relative. You'll be saying if just because your ex did one or two things against them. But guys, that doesn't mean we should bring our kids in between the problems. Seriously. I've talked a long while. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Like, watch, and subscribe to my channel, and have a wonderful day ahead. Bye bye.